Hi, my name is Austin Dykes. I'm the product manager for Cyber Triage, and today we're very excited to bring you our Cyber Triage version 3.5.0 release. So this release was all about adding some quality of life features that many folks have requested, making the UI more readable and allowing you to export the files you collect with Cyber Triage at the push of a button. You can get the full list of changes in the Cyber Triage user guide under the section History, and we'll paste a link below the video for that. The first feature I'd like to address in this new release is the reducing of duplicate data access artifacts. Now I know that's a lot, but reducing of duplicate data access artifacts, what is this feature? This new feature will reduce the number of items you see when reviewing data access artifacts. So in some situations, you will have several registry keys or MRU values that refer to the same file being opened at a given time. These are now merged into a single item that represents that event within Cyber Triage. So instead of seeing 5 entries, you'll just see 1. This data reduction allows you to more quickly focus on the relevant malicious activity. And if you want to see all these sources an event came from, you can still do that in the Sources tab down in the File Info panel. The use case for this: data access artifacts are useful for many types of investigations. For an intrusion case, you can use these types of artifacts to identify what files an attacker was looking at. For an insider threat case, you can use these types of artifacts to determine what files an employee was looking at that are outside of their responsibility, if any. Also note that there are now links to our website from within Cyber Triage to inform you about what an artifact such as Office MRU actually does. So if you're new to forensics or you just need a refresher, or you've never seen this artifact before, we're going to start adding links that explain what each artifact does, and we'll add more of those as we continue to develop. So be on the lookout for those. And how to use this part: there's nothing extra to do to leverage this new feature. Simply load the data that you collect from a live or a dead system, let it process that data, and with the latest version, you'll have fewer items in the data access section. All right. The next feature I'd like to go over is the View All Collected Source Files. What is this feature? So this feature brings a new UI panel called Collection Details that shows you everything about how the data was collected and what was collected. You can find out what source files were collected and what the original file names were. So this makes it easier to extract all source files to use in other DFIR tools and debug where the data was imported from. Use case for this is the collection detail panels we sort of tailored to be useful, again, in every investigation. So the notable scenarios that you'd use it are when you collected from a live host with Cyber Triage and want to extract out registry hives or other source files to run it through additional tools. Or you are trying to trace back where some of these files came from. So how it helps you really is that you have more confidence in what the data is and what was collected. So you can now see the file names of all collected files and export them from within Cyber Triage. So how to use it: simply click on the Collection Details panel in the left-hand side navigation menu, and it's going to have 2 main sections. The top part gives information about where the data came from, and the bottom part gives you a list of all the collected source files. The Extract All button will save all those source files to a folder of your choosing. All right, the last feature I have for you today is updated Logon Summary Panels. So what are Logon Summary Panels? So in the last version of Cyber Triage, we introduced the new summary panels for inbound and outbound logon sessions. The idea was to give the responder a quick orientation and high-level view of the hundreds or thousands of logon sessions without the responder needing to review each and every single one of them. This release changes some of the summarized data and adds a histogram to make it easier to identify anomalous behavior. We quickly realized that going through hundreds of thousands of these is, while potentially useful, is time consuming. So we wanted to allow you to reduce that time on your end. So the use case for this is when you can use these new panels when you're looking for suspicious account activity. Namely, there are now panels that focus on user accounts that have been used on the system for quite a while, say more than 2 months, but that started coming in from new hosts. This could be from an attacker who got credentials but is not using the same host as the original person. A second use case is user accounts that just started to remotely log into the system. So this could be from an attacker who has compromised credentials and is using them to log onto a system that the original person did not typically use. And we've also added, like I said earlier, the histogram that gives a graphical view of the logon activity so you can see trends in the behavior, just an easier way to identify that. And how it helps you: these new panels make it easier for you to see patterns without having to manually look at all the past data. For example, it's very tedious for a human to go through all the past data and notice that the new host just started to be used. These new panels are going to highlight that information for you more quickly so you can see it right away. How to use it: when reviewing the host data, select the inbound and outbound logon options on the left-hand side of the menu. Start by reviewing the summary panels. They will show you the date ranges for which there is data in the security and terminal services logs. You can review the interactive and network logons to look for any anomalies. All right, that's going to do it for our Cyber Triage 3.5.0 release. We know it's going to save you a ton of time in your investigations, and we're pleased to present it to you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at support@cybertriage.com, day or night, any time of the week. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We post here frequently with updates, webinars, DFIR informational series, recaps to our events like the ResponderCon event we had in August, and much more. So if you're interested in the latest Cyber Triage updates and information, please follow. If you don't have a copy of Cyber Triage and would like one, please click the link below and get your free 7-day eval copy. That will do it for me and from all of us at Cyber Triage. See you next time. Happy hunting.